dogs. This is Pippa, and that's Harley. They are frenemies slash best friends, and I am watching Pippa this weekend. They think because they just went outside that it is dinner time, but it really is not dinner time. It's putting in the bidet time. Okay, yeah, I really want to get this bathroom all fixed up because it feels like it's dragging on and on. And I need to pour the counter still. This guy, I keep dropping things in the sink because there's no stopper right above the drain. So I dropped a very large hair clip in there today. And yeah, it just feels like it's time to finish it up, especially because Monday I'm getting my cabinets in. And the sync to the cabinets keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. So I reached out to Wayfair and they put a project manager on it, some sort of manager to track when it's coming in, because that's sort of how you project manage stuff. You just like reach out and say, hey, what's the estimated time? Do I need to change, what I'm installing? And they don't know that I don't really have like an install date because I'm not a contractor. I'm just doing my house. But it would be nice to have a real date instead of every 2 days, have it delayed another 2 days, which is what happened about 5 or 6 times until finally I got fed up and I messaged them. So that is on its way. Let's see what else is on its way. I bought a lot of other stuff for the house, but it's not time to put it all in yet. So what I did get in is this. Who knew there's an OEM market for bidet parts? It was called like bidetparts.org or something dumb like that. And they just have it looks 3D printed to me. It doesn't look like an original. And so this is the bracket that will go down on the toilet seat so that the seat itself can clip into it. I also ran to the hardware store quite a few times to find parts that would fit this tee that comes with it. And I think I finally got one that will fit. I don't know if this probably needs some Teflon tape on the thread, so I might have to redo that. This is a faucet, but I think it's the right size and nothing else was the right size. That is actually for a toilet. So this one, I think they come with one of these and they come with this, but when my parents brought this into town, they did not bring those two essential parts, which is why I had to order them. Okay. So I've got this. I've got these little guys. These screw into the bottom of the toilet through the bracket. It's what holds the bracket onto the toilet itself. And then remember the seat slips into the bracket. Right there. You can kind of see the outline of where the bracket holds it in. Hey pups. So that's what I'm gonna do. The other thing I did today was put in, it's starting to come out. I put in the caulking around the tub. I had seen this caulking that the flooring people used that's just a tape that comes down and it's pre-filled with the putty on the back to hold it in. And it actually looks pretty good. My brother's sending me bike stuff. It looks pretty good. And so I bought it to go all the way around the rest of the tub. I chipped out what was there, was kind of moldy, gross caulking. So I chipped that out and then put the new caulking in. So it looks okay. There's the new caulking. There was one bit where the tile had come out and I wasn't sure if I should try to put the little piece of tile in, but in the end just decided no, I want something that's gonna hold out water better. So I actually ended up going around the whole thing. It's coming up, it needs a little bit of super glue there and then over down there. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Much better than what was in here, which was the moldy, gross. It was like black. Yeah, and it had like pieces of grout in it and dirt, and it was gross. And so it took a while to chip it out with a flathead screwdriver, but I am glad it is out and gone, and this looks much better. It feels much cleaner, much more new, and yeah, like it's a nice place to shower, and I like to take baths. So, yeah, that is the state of the bathroom. So I'll let you know how the bidet goes. That is the task for this evening. Right, Pippa? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, Harley does not like it when I give Pippa more attention. No. Yeah. What? Yeah. Aren't they fun? You guys gonna go fight over your dinner? Pippa gets more dinner than Harley, but she'll straight up just give it to Harley because she's not alpha. Yeah. Yeah. Do you need a bath? Ready? Ready, girls? Go get her, Pippa! You stay out and run. Whoop. Hi there. So I'm almost ready. I've got one more hookup to put in. It's a little crazy to me that we put potable water into our toilets. Right now, California is in this massive drought. I just listened to a webinar about the California drought and what they're trying to do. Basically, they have, all these interstate and intercountry because the Colorado River goes into Mexico. So they've got all of these agreements and different negotiations that they've done over, hundreds of years about the Colorado River water. Some of the negotiations assume that on some years you'll have more than you can use and some years you'll have less. The reality is right now it's always going to be less because of climate change. So I think the high in Lake Mead was 1986 and the lowest of ever is this year. This is slowly dripping, so I think this glow valve isn't totally tight, so I need to chat less and go more. This is my valve. You can see it's not very flush to the wall, but it's dripping water. I've got a little cup here to catch the water. The other things going on back here, this is the valve that goes into the toilet. You can see these are the screws I just put in here, the brackets, and this one is the one that goes into the bidet itself. Is this Harley? Where's this Harley? I walked into my workshop / third bedroom it's a mess. So I could not find where I had stashed the WD-40, which I'm gonna need to take those bolts out of the toilet. So I've been spending some time just cleaning up and getting my bearings. I've got a bunch of boxes up there that I've labeled. They were in the process of being labeled. These down here are still in the process. And it's coming along. I might go back to the toilet job because I want to get that moving, and I think I'm gonna just go ahead and install the smoke detector in the second bedroom. I got it working, or just needed a new battery. The other one is broken, so this bedroom doesn't have a smoke detector right now. So I grabbed the bracket because it's the same one for the other bedroom until I find where the lost bracket is. So I will need to grab another smoke detector when I'm out, because I think you're supposed to have one within 2 feet of every room. So I probably don't even need one in the second bedroom. Maybe I will just paint that and get it all prepped for the smoke detector to go in there.
She turned off like a Viking. I just saying that naked. Where's your towel, Dad? I don't use towel.
Okay, it should be filling up now. Alright, I did this the other day when I was messing with the toilet. So it's got an O-ring, some sort of wing nut down here. You're not going to be able to see it well. Right up here, this white piece that holds the bottom. So this is what's holding this on, and then the white piece is connected to this whole assembly here. And this is got to be able to float. This is basically a floater valve. When you flush the toilet, that lets it out. This is putting water into the toilet. It's going to rise in here until the floater valve hits where it's floating, and then it should stop. You can kind of see it's coming up a bit. And that's where it stops. So you can adjust the floater valve here, depending on how high this thing is, because you want the water to stop right when it gets to the top of that thing. Whew. When you talk about water and pressure, you're talking about head. So that's the amount of height of water in the tank. And so the more water that's in the tank, the faster it'll flush, because it'll be under more pressure and it'll just go down and out. But we have these low flow tanks now. Like this says that it is 1.6 gallon per flush, as I think what that unit is. That's a low flush toilet. The ones back in the day were like 3.2, 3.5, which is a lot of water for one flush. You can get it done in a gallon and a half, so that's what we do now. And those are regulated, so you really can't find 3-gallon toilets anymore, unless they're really old and already installed. I did not end up using the little plugs that go into the holes in the toilet, or these little brackets to hold it in, because the OAM brackets seem to work. And I think it is in a fine spot. I mean, I guess it could come a little more forward, but I think that's okay. It doesn't have this like slow release lid that my other one does. It's not as fancy as my other one, but it does do the seat warmer and some of the same settings there. So I'm happy with it. It's gonna be fun. I'm glad it's got this seat warmer for the winter, because once you get used to having one, it's rough not to have one. This one didn't end up fitting on that end, so I went back with the one that was already on there. I gotta remember not to drink that. this. Self-cleaning mode. So I was just unboxing my new set for the bathroom, and I had to show you this. It's kind of cute. So it comes with all the pieces. This piece, and then I guess this is to hold the shower piece. But it also has a couple little, like this is a tiny little thing of Teflon tape, and it's got a tiny little Allen wrench. So they made sure that you could, without a without a full workshop, you could just like put this together, which is cool. So that's what I'm doing. The other things I've been working on this weekend are, I've been doing some videos of the kitchen in preparation for the cabinets that are coming in. I've been watching these two guys. I'm about to super glue together the caulking, which you can see did not stay very well. I don't know, the one that they used for the flooring, that was put on by the flooring guy, and it is staying really well, but mine all popped off. I'm also I put up these. This was actually a 3 trial process. The first time I tried nails, because there's a little spot for a nail in the back. A nail was never going to hold it on straight. So then I used command strips. That didn't work. I used the really heavy duty command strips. That worked for like a second. Actually, it was probably about 10 minutes, and then it fell. And so I finally ended up using the adhesive that came with the hooks. And it's going to set here for 24 to 48 hours, and then it'll be full strength. I've used it before. It's really strong. You can see that's the little eagle sign that I tattooed on myself with one of my friend's guns when I was in Brooklyn. I also tattooed like a little planter with a Texas star on it, and it had a cactus in it. It took me forever. I was very nervous about tattooing somebody forever. But he had some really bad tattoos, so that made me feel a little bit better about it. The other things I've done is the lights. I've decided to switch them all out to Wiz because I wanted just the one app to be able to turn them all on and off. I still can't get the one Wiz light to connect. Oh no, maybe I did. That's the one in here. So I set up a bunch of scenes, and I made some if this then that's for them so that I can tell Google that I'm awake or let's chill. I ordered a shelf for the bathroom. All these dogs. My brother helped me install this shelf over there in the back. It's a gate leg shelf, so it does come down. but I was just needing to put things up and not all over the floor. And the other thing I did was I installed the door jambs. Girls, are you fighting? These things. So they just screw on into the trimming. This one didn't need one. This actually goes to this door here, that the chest is in the way. But all of the other doors that would like hit the wall, I put it in. And I was noticing here that I had already dented the wall with this, which is why I went ahead and grabbed those and just did them. They're cheap enough. There's only a few bucks for a pack of 5 of them. I'm not going to put one on this door here because the cabinets are going to be on the back side of it. But I don't know if you can see from here, I did put one next to the front door. There. I've also been trying to figure out how to get a screensaver on the TV, and it's taken a lot of my energy to figure out this TV with the Vizio and the Roku and all of the stuff online on how to do it. Assumes that you've got a remote that has the Vizio button on it, and mine does not. So I don't know if that's a new feature, but it's I'm actually wondering if I just need to get a Chromecast as well, which is going to be just like too many things in the back of my TV, a Chromecast and a Roku, and it's a smart TV. So that feels like overkill, and I really want to figure it out without having to go out and buy a Chromecast. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. So I'm going to see if I can at least get this started. I don't know that I will get very far, but start putting this all in and yeah, and see how it all goes. Here's my, that's the tub spout. Oh, maybe you haven't seen it yet though. I've also got a couch that I picked up last week from somebody on Facebook Marketplace. It's a little small, so it might end up going back to the office. But for now, it's nice to have a place to sit on a couch when I'm in front of the TV. So that's what that is over there. And you can see that mess with all the dog stuff. But you can see this box here, that is the sink that is going to go in my kitchen. So I'm excited that that's come in. That got delayed quite a few times, and I finally just reached out to Wayfair and was like, hey, I need a real date because it's been delayed 5 different times. And so they went and called the manufacturer, and it suddenly got done. So I don't know if my order just fell to like off the queue, and then Wayfair was still sending me automatic messages. That's what I assume happened. So I'm glad I reached out and told them like, hey, I haven't gotten this. So that'll be fun to install all of that. Here's what I've been doing. Trying to set and chop and anything to get this off. So it has a hole underneath, but I can't see that if you put anything in there like an Allen wrench that it'll actually loosen that that valve. So I have a whole range of things that I've been using. The hacksaw bit and these aviation snips. Some of that. I WD-40'd it. So I'm gonna get it out, but it's gonna destroy the thing taking it out, which is fine because it's pretty gross and corroded anyway. Okay, so I wanted to show you how much of a mess this stuff is. So no matter what I do, it's like coming off and sliding down. And it really just didn't stick at all over in there. So you can sort of see that I've got 2 different types of super glue that I've tried to use. This right here was a gel or a foam-based one that expands. I used a regular super glue, which only really stuck to the grout, not the tile. So now I have to come in and this actually, you can see it didn't stick very much at all. on the other side, there was a line of caulking down here. So it did actually stick over here, and I've been scraping it off. So yeah, I'm gonna just pull this all out and then caulk it with a regular caulk because I'm tired of messing with this. And it never really looked that great at the corners anyway. You can kind of tell there. All right, I am trying to see how many tools I can use to fix my bathtub. It's actually kind of fun that it does that, but also means I can't use the shower. I've been working in the bathroom today. The first thing I did was, I put up that shelf. I'll show it to you here in a bit. And now I'm fixing the bathtub lever. So here's the lever that was in the bathtub to make it fill, and it wasn't filling very well. And when I pulled it out, the whole thing is kind of wonky, gross. This is not even straight anymore. So I can see why sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. Sometimes I thought it was, when it was down is when it was closed. And sometimes I thought the opposite. So it really just didn't work. So I bought a new assembly. This is just the plug assembly and then the lever itself. So I have gotten it to be the same length approximately as what was in there. And I think that'll give us a good starting, at least to where it should be. And yeah, I'm just gonna feed it into the hole. Here, I'll show you what the hole looks like. This gross little bathtub hole. So I'm gonna feed it into the hole and see if it works. So here we go. I didn't realize these were so easy to do. Well, maybe they're not. Okay, so this trip lever has not been an easy chore. It's actually taken me a few days. And I have had to narrow it down to the sum of all of the parts of what the trip lever is. So if you remember, there's this and it goes into the hole. And then it was getting stuck on something. I couldn't figure out if it was the top, if it was the bottom. if maybe the tube's not plumb. I actually still don't know what the answer is. It could be that the tube's not plumb, so perfectly straight, because it takes a little jiggling to get it out. And also this is too big to go in the hole, and this is too big to go in the hole. So it has to be maneuvered in anyway. Oh, my phone is falling. So I first took it down to just this and was going in and out, and it still was not stopping it. And so then I was like, wait a second, like it used to have this one in, if you remember, this was really gross, and it stopped it at some point. So I put it on a string to just see if this will do it, and it worked. So I still don't know why it wasn't working before, and if it has to do with it being not being plumb or being a different size in the fitting. I did put a thing down there to clean it out to see if there's just gunk. There's not. So it's something about how that is constructed. It's an old house. It's probably done not great. Not that I'm going to do it any better or would have, but I'm just going to use this old one, and now I'm going to try it on the new brass. This is called the plunger. This is called the yoke, I believe. So I'm going to take the brass yoke, put it on the plastic plunger, and see if that works, and then just like slowly work my way up. Sit. Sit. Good girl. So I am in my bathroom, and I'm trying to delicately take out these tiles, which actually this is okay that it busted there. Obviously it's going to bust on wherever's the weakest part of the system, which typically would be like right around the edge of the grout. Yeah, so I'm trying to pull these out. I'm trying to save as many as possible because at some point I might need some extra tiles that are these red tiles. So I think in the corner, that one I was just going to have to like give up hope on. But for the rest of them, I'm going to try to delicately pull them out with a crowbar and see how it goes. And so this is just prepping the area and getting it ready for when my sink goes in. Okay, so I've been trying to replace this gross shower head, and I couldn't twist it out, and now I'm realizing that it's because it's like grouted into the copper pipe. So I think I'm gonna have to take out this entire pane of like all the grout around here so I can get this entire pane out so I can see what the heck is going on and if I can dissolve that or something.